Doug NPA back with another live stream. It is Wednesday, July 3rd of 2024. Thank you for joining me today. Is my sound okay, everyone? Because last time I was auto-tuning it. Let me make sure to check my settings again real quick because I would hate for it to be like last time. Give me 1 second. Okay, everything should be good. Because last time, the first two minutes, I sounded like T-Pain. It was awful. uh, Lisa Smith, thank you for being here. Ben from the Republic of Palau, thank you for being here. Lisa Smith, yes, yes. AJ's always been that way. So we are twin brothers in real life. Uh, I'm the quiet one. AJ's always been an entertainer, man, and it's good to see him doing so well. I'm more of a quiet kind of policy guy, but yeah, AJ, he's the best. I'm so glad that you guys are subscribed to his channel. He actually inspired me to start a channel. Before I started my channel, I've been a moderator on a couple of really big channels. So like Pearl's channel, I was a mod on her channel since she had 11,000 subs, and now she's almost at 2 million. So anyway, um, welcome. This one is going to be about the single mothers who chose to leave the careers behind. No, I'm sorry. The mothers who chose to leave their careers behind to be stay-at-home moms. And I have a couple of TikTok videos, a couple uh, of stories that show the positives and the negatives. A couple of women regret it. A couple of women say it's the best thing ever. So we're gonna go over that, and make sure to let me know your opinion of about this subject. If you're watching this after the fact, in the comments, or or in the chat. So I'm gonna say my stance on it. I don't have any kids. I don't want any kids. But I think when a woman becomes a mother, it is the most important job on the planet, especially now in the modern age. Uh, a conquering wanderer. Good to see you, my friend. Happy Fourth. Let me just say one thing. Doug MPA is black. I've been black on this planet for 43 years, and yes, America has its problems, but I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. I've traveled to at least 17 different countries, and there's no place like the USA. So happy birthday, United States of America! And I can't stand when people aren't patriotic. You don't have to be flag waving and woohoo, yeah, America, but people that are Americans and got to benefit from being an American that hate this country, it blows my mind. Now, I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. I'm a registered independent, but it really gets my gears when Americans hate America. That really gets my gears. So once again, happy Fourth of July, you guys. And make sure to keep all your fingers, because one of my favorite things after the 4th of July is check the news and see how many people have set their houses on fire or lost fingers and stuff because of fireworks. That's one of my little morbid hobbies. It's just like after Thanksgiving, I like seeing those videos of people trying to deep fry their turkeys and setting their houses on fire. Conquering Wanderers said it all. I came from another country. This is the greatest country that ever existed. He's been from the Republic of Palau. Says, I'm Canadian. We had our day on the first. I was watching some of those videos too. Yeah. Yep. So, anyway, happy 4th of July, everyone. And so, guys, there is a membership tier on my channel. It's $4.99 a month. I call it the Crime Files because I like to do videos about women who've been accused of, or being prosecuted for, or have been convicted of various crimes. And I do that because, look, men commit most of the crimes, and everything that you can say about men committing crimes and perpetuating this culture of crime, I'd agree with. But women are coming up fast, man. And there's still this visceral reaction when you see women doing stuff to their kids or women doing stuff to their husbands or boyfriends, like, oh my God, how could she do that? So I like to do videos about women that have done crimes, but they get limited monetization. So I put them behind a $4.99 a month tier. So if you want to become a member on my channel, please do that. I drop two videos a week when it comes to women committing crimes. So if you want to join, go ahead. And I always do a preview of what those are like at the beginning of my shows. So we are going to preview one now. Let me share my screen. Entire screen. Share. So I call this the Crime Files. So welcome to a mini episode of the Crime Files. I love that theme, don't you guys? The SBU theme. Let's get into this. Let's go.
The search is on tonight for a woman accused of abandoning her baby a week ago.
And that mother is facing felony charges, and there's now a warrant out for her arrest. Fox 26's Abigail Dye is joining us live with a story you're seeing first on Fox.
Well, Anthony, we've seen it in the movies. We've seen how people abandon newborn babies at fire stations like this one. And in some circumstances, that is completely legal here in Texas. But in this case, court documents say that this baby was left outside alone for nearly 6 hours.
So what happens is this woman is texting this guy saying, I'm dropping off your kid. I'm dropping off your kid. I don't want him no mo. And she drives up, leaves the kid on the front porch. This is literally a baby, you guys. And he's outside for 6 hours.
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh my goodness. And guys, look, I got to get my own version of the race card. Doug and PA's black, I can say it. What race? If you hear about a story where a woman leaves her child on the doorstep for 6 hours, what race do you think this woman is? Try and take a guess.
Last week, we put out this poster with a little baby on the front asking you all to help police identify him. Now, a week later, that baby's mom, 23-year-old Loretta Norwood, is charged with felony abandoning a child.
Tell me you didn't guess it, guys. Tell me you didn't guess it. Of course, Ragey Gamer. Them B-dubs.
Child. Court documents say she left the baby outside the Southwest Houston porch. We tried to talk to the woman who found the baby, but she didn't answer. Documents say Norwood left the baby around 12 a.m. Then 38 minutes later texted that homeowner's son, quote, your son outside. Tell your mom to get him.
How cold-blooded do you have to be, guys? Because I can't stand when things happen to children. That kid didn't want to be here. Didn't want to be here at all. And it had to get left. Who knows what's going to happen to that child? 6 hours outside alone by himself.
That text wasn't seen until the next day, and records say the baby wasn't discovered until 6 a.m. For mothers who want to surrender a child who's 60 days old or younger, there is a safe and legal way to do that, like at a fire station.
The law allows for you to drop off that baby at a fire station, just like in the movies, or with an EMT or at a children's hospital. You can do this, and it's legal. And
so let me speak on that, guys. If Doug and PA had his way, women would have the right to body autonomy. They'd be able to drop a kid off at the fire station, all that stuff. But there should be a way for a man to go to the courthouse and give up his rights. A man should have the ability to choose to not be a father, just like a woman has the ability to choose not to be a mom. But men have no choice. They have no choice. So these women are like, oh, I have to. Do you really have to? Do you really? There are 40 forms of birth control, adoption, The fire station, baby deletion, but men have to take responsibility.
And we've seen this about 100 times since the law passed in 1999.
In this case, the baby is too old to fall under the safe haven law, but moms always have the option of adoption.
But there are all sorts of answers and options for a mom who just can't handle it. And the state, they may be overburdened in a lot of things they do, but they will take care of a newborn baby.
Women who just can't handle it. Guys, what do you think about that? Because I think that there is a social infrastructure in place that is perpetuating this single mother culture. I can do it all by myself. I'm strong, independent. All these women have their friends around them. Oh, we'll help you. We'll help you, all the family and stuff. Then what happens? The baby's born. Then everyone that said they were going to help her, gone. No one's around. She's overwhelmed. We're just lying to women about how difficult motherhood is, especially being a single mom. They let Chad, Pookie, Ray Ray shoot up the club. And then you know what happens after that?
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you're a single mom. Now you're a single mom.
You're a single mom.
Now, records indicate that Norwood is not in custody tonight. That mugshot that we have is from March 5th, when records say that she and
Wait. Wait, did they say that was a previous mugshot?
when records say that she and another man tonight, that mugshot that we
Overburdened in a lot of things they do, but they will take care of a newborn baby.
Now, records indicate that Norwood is not in custody tonight. That mugshot that we have is from March 5th, when records say that she and another man robbed two people in Katy. If you have
This woman has a newborn child, and she robbed two guys with another man. Who gets these women pregnant, guys? Who? Why? Guys, we have to do better. We have to. There is no excuse that hard-faced woman has a newborn child like that. Come on now. Really?
any information on this child abandonment case or where Norwood could be, you can call Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. Your information is completely anonymous. Reporting live, Abigail Dye, Fox 26 News.
There you go, guys. The crime files. So I dropped two of these a week on the membership tier because, once again, any video I make about women doing any kinds of crimes gets limited monetization. So I'm probably not going to make any money off of it. So hit that join button. It's only for $4.99 a month. I'd appreciate that. And then before we get into the main subject, I'm dropping a video next week. I don't know if you guys remember this video right here. It says, she doesn't want to be a mother anymore because her new boyfriend doesn't want any kids. Do you guys remember this TikTok that came out last year? Well, I found all four of them. I put them all together, and I'm doing a reaction to it. But we're gonna watch the first part so you can get a little preview as to what my video next week is gonna be about, because this is sad. Pyro in the house. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Every time I see single mothers, especially the B dubs, I think I think they are the worst out of all of them. Like, remember, we're all black men here, so we completely understand.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take race out for a second. I'll tell you my tier of single mothers. The worst single mothers. No. Okay. Best case scenario is she's a widow. Okay.
Yes.
Because then you don't have to deal with any baby daddy, right?
Mhm.
Then divorced single mothers are second place. Baby mamas are number third. But the absolute worst, are single mothers by choice.
Yeah.
The women
Especially the
who are who are 35, 36, 37 years old, never had a serious relationship, don't have partnering skills, so they go to the clinic and get inseminated or do IVF and go it alone and do it by themselves. And I say that because they know for a fact their child will never have a father, like ever have a father, because
Mhm.
the donor's anonymous. That's the worst thing that you can do to a child is not even have a father for your children. And also, guys, put in the chat if you agree with this. A woman who adopts a child or becomes a single mom by choice in her mid-30s is resigning herself to be single for the rest of her life. What do you think, Pyro?
I completely agree. Like that kid is not gonna come out as great as a two parent household. That kid have a better choice at coming out way better.
Yeah, it's just it just well, let me say hi to everyone because I see Steve M in the house. Thank you for being here. Pyro, I see you in the room. Reggie Gamer, Carlos X. Always good to see you, my friends. Garrett Grant in the house. Always good to see you. Thank you. Um, mothers, these women will have children to fill some hole in their soul that like they want a man to fill, but they're impossible to deal with. So that they put that emotional burden on their child. I just want a child to love. I want something to love me. I want someone to love me. Yeah. So sad. And then they have to put that emotional burden on their child, right?
Yes.
And
Mhm.
and when they find out that a child can't love you like a spouse can, like a significant other can, or like a husband can, then they start to resent their children. It's awful. It's awful, man. S- So, so yeah, this is part one, but I'm doing a reaction of the four. Oh yeah, Lisa Smith brought up Susan Smith. She was eligible for parole last year, and they didn't give her parole. Lisa, yeah, she's eligible for parole in 2023, and they didn't let her out. Yep.
Wow.
Just so everyone knows, Susan Smith was a woman who met a guy that they didn't want to have kids. Well, she was married, and when she was married, she smashed her her husband's father, right? And then
What?
yeah, dude. Yep. Yep. She smashed her husband's father. She was like that one female cop that was banging all those cops. She was all over the place. Well, her husband and her separated, and she met this new guy who said that he didn't want to have a woman with children. So she had her kids in the back seat of her car, and then pushed the car off of a dock into a lake. And her kids, didn't make it. And the sad part about it is, she said, well, when they asked her what happened, she called the police and said that she got carjacked by two black guys.
Jesus H.
Of
Christ.
course. Of course. Why?
Yep, yep, yep. So they don't tell you this part, but I guarantee you that the police did a shakedown on every black dude for 25 miles, and then they found out that she was lying. She took out her own kids. All right, we're gonna get through this first, and then we'll get to the subject at hand. And how
But the
sad is
thing
this,
is,
you guys? I'll go ahead.
yeah, yeah, the thing is, I don't get why mothers always offline their own kids for some reason. Like, why can't they just give the kids up to somebody else?
And yeah, it's true. And and Lisa, uh, I don't know if you remember the trial, but the prosecution put a camera in a car and pushed it off the lake. And they showed the jury what it was like for the boys, what they would have saw as the car slowly sank into the water. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Ugh, all because she wanted to be with a guy.
Yeah.
Whiteout, good to
Yeah,
see you, my
that's
friend.
that's the worst thing ever.
Yep, it's awful. And guys, 70 to 80% of all violence against the elderly and children are women. That's right. So when you think of, people on the, you know, on the registry, that do bad things to children, you picture a man, as you should, because like 80
Yeah.
what, 85% of people on the registry, I think 90% are men.
Yes.
People that go into schools and and take people out in schools, those are men. You know, but if you see a story about someone harming a child or someone harming the elderly, just automatically picture it's a woman because 80% of the time it's a woman. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy to think about?
Right now, yeah, right now in today's days, it makes complete sense. Every time I hear about kid kids getting touched touched by teachers, I'm picturing it has to be a female teacher.
Yep. Yep, that's true. Yeah. I'm start covering the stories a lot too because there's a weekend last year where 6 female teachers all around the United States got arrested for messing around with their young male students. So
That's
let's
crazy.
get to this clip here.
Hey, babies. Wait, don't go in the house yet. Why not? Hey, listen. Go on to the, just go sit on the porch. Hey, listen. What do you think you're doing? I'm dropping them off. Good. Listen, I met a younger guy, and he don't want no kids, and he don't want to, listen, he don't want to deal with them. And so I'm dropping these kids off so me and him can live our life. We want to travel. We want to explore the world. And I can't do that with kids.
There you go, guys. There you go. Tattoos, nose piercing, 3 kids, you guys.
Hey, I cannot believe it's time for me to be happy, and I just want to be happy and stress-free without these children. That's all I want. Then you should ask me, baby. I shouldn't have asked. You're the grandparents. It's respect, Angel. It's respect. Well, I hope that you respect my decision on moving on with my life with my new man and no kids. I'm not raising your kids. Well, I'm not either.
There you go, guys. She's not gonna do it. She had 3 kids. Who knows how many different fathers? Who knows? And you can see once again nose ring tattoos. Try and guess who. Try and guess. Was it Pookie, Ray Ray, or Nug Nug who got this woman pregnant? Who wants to
Obviously,
take a
Pookie.
guess? Maybe
It
all
has to be a
3.
Pookie. Yeah,
Maybe all
because
3.
wait, how many kids she have? 3 or 2?
3 kids, man. She has 3.
Yeah, it has to be all the above.
Yeah, man. You know how they have it's a multiple choice question. A Nug Nug, B Ray Ray, C freaking uh 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 Quavon, and then D all of the above.
True.
Ah!
Well, I don't know what to tell you because I'm not doing it. I'm just letting you know right now I'm not doing it.
That is hilarious.
I'm tired of being a single parent. I'm tired.
There are 3 other clips where it goes on and on and on. So I had that video coming out next week, and it's sad, you guys. She just drives off at the end. It's sad. So, all right. So what inspired the live stream today was this right here. It says, "I quit my PhD program to be a wife and mother at 23. It's not what I expected for my post college life, but I'm happier." And this is by Taryn Witherspoon Woolfolk. So, guys, another race card here. You know how I know this is a black woman? One, the name Terryn, Terryn, and then she hyphenated her last name. Guys, don't ever sign a marriage certificate unless the woman has your last name. Just don't do it. Don't. I'm not going to. I'm never going to marry a woman who doesn't take my last name because my last name is worth having. It's worth having. The only exceptions would be if she was like a doctor before you or something like that, and maybe like her medical practice has her name on it. But like, no, I don't know what's. I've seen guys take their wife's last name. What's what's a bigger simp move, Pyro? Of taking out another man's kid or a man taking a woman's last name? What's worse? It's a tough
Mm,
one, right? It's a
it's a very
tough
tough
one.
one. In my opinion, taking somebody else's kids because added to that, it's not your kid, and then people are gonna look at you as weak. So I think it's much worse than taking your wife's father's last name.
I don't know, man. I'm torn. I am torn on it, man. I think like I don't know, man. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. I think they're both bad. They're both
They are bad. Both of them
really
are
bad.
terrible.
Yeah. So,
It's
so it
like
says,
picking poison between acid. Like none of it, two of them are just terrible.
yeah, both choices are bad. It says, in high school, I knew college would be an important step towards success and a career. Nonetheless, my deeper desires involved finding the one friends to lover style. I had a full scholarship to the college of my dreams, but I quickly shifted focus from my studies to my personal development. I wanted to know more about myself. Mm, I wanted to know more about myself than my classes, and that's what I did. I created a podcast with my friends. I fell in love with my best friend and got my friends to love his romance. We even got married in college. I also discovered my passion for mental health. So first off, her meeting a man in college and getting married in college, I'm gonna give her a round of applause.
Yeah, that's very rare nowadays.
Now, a big red flag. I also discovered my passion for mental health.
Jesus H. Christ.
Mental health girls, you know,
Yeah.
uh, social workers, licensed counselors, psychologists, guys, run the other way, man, because you are gonna be her husband is gonna be her number one patient her whole life. The problem with mental health women, the women in the mental health field, is that they think that they're the arbiters of reality. Like because of their skills and their training, that they're the only ones who can correctly decipher reality. So when you're in a relationship with one of those women, they're constantly uh, uh, psychoanalyzing you and keeping you on defense. Guys, avoid mental health practitioners at all costs because you will be their number one patient the entire time that you're with them. You can't have any power emotionally or, or mentally with a woman that's a mental health practitioner because she's going to think that she knows more than you about her feelings and yours and your children. Anyway,
She goes screaming in your ears. I'm the professional. I know what I'm doing.
yep, exactly. Yep. I went to school for this. I know you have mommy issues. You're like, what? I'm telling
and,
you, man.
and, and
Yeah.
Doug, I'm a very emotional guy, and I will say something that would just trigger certain women off. Like, so that's why I avoid saying certain things.
Yep. Yeah, man. I'm past the point of avoiding things. I have a bachelor's degree, master's degree. I have a really good day job. I've earned the right to say what's on my mind. I'm tactful about it.
Mhm.
Uh, I have very developed social skills, but I'm telling you, I say what's on my mind, but in a tactful way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So, Uh, so she says, but by the end of my senior year, reality started to set in. I became so fearful of graduation because I had no job prospects or future plans. I suddenly realized I would become a stay at home wife, and that terrified me even more. To avoid that, I desperately searched for a career and enrolled in a graduate program I wasn't interested in. I was among a small number of students who were able to get into a PhD program directly from undergrad. So, guys, I guarantee you, she had her bachelor's degree in psychology, and she was getting her PhD in psychology because that's the only um, PhD that you can get into without a master's degree. So yeah, so she got a bachelor's degree in psychology, her social work, and she's getting her PhD in psychology. I
Mhm.
was an academic in training, which meant having two part-time jobs, doing side research projects, and attending class. I saw my husband less, but he supported the sacrifice as long as I got what I wanted. I started working at 8 a.m. and finished around 7 p.m. I worked on the weekends too. The Pinterest inspired home I hope to have would have required my creativity and time, both of which are limited resources when you're running the career race. So we kept the white walls with no time to hang the framed pictures of our wedding day. I started therapy during this time, and I was forced to address the fear and anxiety that had pushed me to jump headfirst into a career I wasn't sure about. Now, where do you think that anxiety comes from, you guys? It comes from all the women in her life telling her, you know, do you need a man? Do you need a man?
Nope.
Do you want to get married? You know, two income household.
Nope.
That's where she got her. I guarantee you, it was her mother, her aunties, her nenes, all the women in her life that instilled this anxiety in her. I guarantee it. You don't tell men. You don't see men telling their daughters to, to not get married. And the sad part about it is, Saint Kevin Samuel said it the best. There's a whole generation of mothers failed their daughters. These are women who are married to good men, hardworking men, accomplished men who told their daughters, "Don't be like me. Go out there, be alone, be single. You know, ride the CC. You know, get some degree that nobody cares about. That's not going to make you any money." It's sad, man. It's sad.
Very sad.
Yep. It says towards the end of my first semester, I knew this career was not for me. I wasn't able to invest in my marriage. I wasn't able to write creatively on topics that mattered. I wasn't becoming who I wanted to be. So I left the program, prompting everyone in my life to wonder why I would leave a school that would earn me the highest degree you can get in academics. After leaving my program, I felt relief, then sadness, and then relief again. Undergrad was about becoming myself. All these terms that women use, man.
I was
Ah,
never me.
I
And the
know. I had to find myself. But
if
graduate
that
schools, go ahead.
if that is the most like red flag thing a woman ever said, I have to find myself. You already know they have a high body count.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. In fact, look at this. I don't know if you guys saw on my community page. Let me go to my community page because I put this awesome meme up here, and we might as well go over it. Community. Did you guys see this? It says the broad narrative of dogging out husbands with therapy language is a sad vortex of misery. His problem isn't that he's weaponized incompetence, is that he doesn't love his wife. He doesn't like living with her, and he probably doesn't like his life in general. The core relationship of his life is with an obese, tattooed, tattooed sleeve, one side of her head shaved blob of chores lists. She probably says partner, emotional labor, trauma, cognitive dissonance, etc. 50 times a day, right? And it all just dissonance. And it all just drones her into a blur of repetitive phrases. I'm sure he's no prize himself, but if he does even the first thing on the list, it's not like there's any reward or incentive other than listening to what vocal um for Fry Creek and Sput. Wait, if there's any reward or incentive other than listening to that vocal, what's that say? Fry Creek and sputter out even more chores for him. What is anyone's incentive to live with and maintain these women? Relationships. There you go, guys. Yeah, I found that one today. It was good.
That
Uh,
that is funny,
yep, all these
but it's also
buzzwords,
true.
man.
Mhm.
Yep, that's true.
You can,
That's why, guys, one of the key ways, I've been married before. I've never been in a nagging relationship because here's the thing you got to do, guys. You got to tell the woman you're with, if I'm gonna do something in the house, I'm gonna do it my way, and you need to accept it. Don't have this thing um, where you did the dishes, but you didn't do them like me. Don't take that, guys. Don't do it.
yeah.
Women have to accept the fact that you're gonna do things your way. And if they don't like the way you do it, well, then they have to do it. And also, women feel like they can ask a man for assistance with the things they do around the house, but a man never asks a woman assistance with the stuff that he does around the house. Have you ever seen a man ask a woman, "Hey, honey, you know what? I I mow the lawn all the time, so you should mow the lawn this week." You know what? I lifted all the heavy boxes last week, so 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 you do it this week.
Hmm.
It never happens.
It never
Tell you
happens.
guys, don't let a woman nag you. Don't ever let a woman think that her version of the reality of your home is the only version. Don't let a woman nag you, guys. It says, uh, uh okay, uh, okay. But graduate school showed me the realities of unbecoming a perfectionist, unbecoming a planner, and unbecoming a high achiever. The pain of unbecoming had given me the freedom to change. When I let go of grinding towards a career, I learned about my desire to be a mother. I wanted to share the beauties of the world with someone else, someone I created. Now I'm pregnant. When when I let go of the negative connotations of being a stay-at-home wife, and where did she get those connotations from? Says I realized my
From our
desire
female friends.
oh, of course, it's
From
from
our,
her
mhm.
her female friends, mothers, nene, aunties, all that stuff. Oh yeah, Chris Athetus, good to see you. I am the better looking one. Thank you very much. Major Gamer says if they weren't planning on having kids, then why did they get married? They could have stayed in a relationship until they got to the point of having kids. I agree with that 100%. Lisa Smith says, I'm a PhD. Yep. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. Oh, could you imagine? It's been over 2 years since his death. Could you imagine if he would have stayed alive this whole time? Oh my goodness, what could have been? What could have been?
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially with the beer and the Wade Wilson stuff. Oh God.
yep. But she says, uh, uh, I realized my desire to make my home into a creative and comfortable space, so I created it. My home doesn't seem to be their home. When I let go of the fear of being a wife, I saw my husband as a compassionate servant and loving person who needed it in return. Now I give love freely. When I let go of the fear of people seeing me as wasted potential, I found writing again, so I write. This is not what I expected from my post graduation life, but my life is both better and different than my expectations. And the year after graduation, I've learned that becoming's shadow is unbecoming. What?
What? I don't understand.
Wait, did I read that right? Okay, hold on. Let me try that again.
I don't know if I'm slow or something, but I don't
In
get it.
the in the year after graduation, I've learned that becoming's shadow is unbecoming. They exist together. The becoming is full of excitement and hope. The unbecoming is full of pain, truth, and even fear, but there's hope on the horizon. Oh, I guess she was trying to do something there. I guess.
Yeah, but it completely flopped right there. So
It didn't land, guys. Let's put it that way. So, so what do we think? I'm gonna give this black woman another round of applause for getting married, prioritizing her husband and her family, because you don't see that nowadays.
mm-mm, never.
So good job, Karen Witherspoon Woolfolk. Good job. So let me get to here. So this woman, this is our first case here. Why she decided to quit her job and be a full-time stay-at-home mom.
Might ruffle feathers, but this is what I know to be true in my soul. I studied marriage and family relationships, and I actually did a lot of research on this. A family and a home will thrive when the mother is there physically and mentally and spiritually taking care of her kids and her husband.
Right off the bat, I'm gonna give her a round of applause. There you go.
And when the husband can provide, preside, and protect his home, that is his role. The man's role is to provide for his family, and the woman's role is to nurture her family, nurture the kids, and raise them. My husband washes a lot of dishes, he changes a lot of diapers, he deep cleans the house, he does the yard, he takes out the garbage. I also do those things. I think I can speak for most of us in that roles aren't as traditional anymore. But
And also, remember, what can be done in the house is malleable. But for the most part, I think that stress outside the home, men were built for. And you see a lot of women who go into the world of men and try to fight in the world of men and be successful and stuff. But then a lot of women just check out. They're like, I don't want to do this anymore. We're right around 35 to 45. That's why there's a stat, you guys, that says that per one male C-suite executive that leaves a company, two women leave. And then most female professionals at the top leave their jobs right around 44 years old. STEM jobs, science, technology, engineering, and math. 50% of women in STEM leave their careers after a child is born. So STEM has a recruitment problem and a retention problem, you guys.
Wow. So people won't even stay there.
Yeah, not people. Women won't stay there. And here's the thing, guys. There's a lot of jobs that like men do that women just don't want to do. I don't blame them because I'm a guy. I don't want to do a lot of that stuff.
Hmm.
But these women who think, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in a a, a male dominated industry my whole life. Okay, okay. See how that works for you when you're 45 years old. I'm not saying don't don't do it, but you have to understand what you're getting into. I
Yes.
I'm saying it again. I think that men are built more for stresses in outside the home, and women are built for the stresses in the home. But that's just me.
the major roles, which is the mother nurtures and the dad financially supports the family. If you are a working mom and you have to drop your kids off at daycare or with family and you don't like it and you feel like you are stretched too thin and you feel like you have hit an all-time low with stress and anxiety and depression and you feel like you aren't showing up fully for your kids, for your job, or your husband, consider reassessing. And all this might sound so obvious, but sitting your husband down and having a serious conversation about his role and your role and how you can support each other in those roles. After this terrible day at work, I ended up quitting my job a couple months later. It was very tight financially for a lot of months, but eventually my husband felt enough pressure and enough stress financially to look for a new job. So he got.
And guys, I always say on my channel, 80% of men, most of us, the most satisfaction we're ever going to get out of life is getting a highly valued skill, a trade, or a highly valued degree, and putting ourselves in a position to provide for a wife and children, and just doing that until we die. The
Hmm.
men that go up on the roofs, go into the sewers, empty trash, our military men, our first responders, they have long days. But when they come home, and their wife kisses them on the head, and their kids hug their legs, daddy, daddy, daddy. These guys will freaking eat food, watch a little football, go to sleep, wake up, and do it again for 30, 40 years until they're dead.
Yeah,
Telling you,
because they have
women.
something to work towards. Like,
Yep, yep. It's how society was built. Men have given our our physical and mental our physical, mental and emotional health for 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 God, country, community, family, wife, children. It's been like that for thousands of years, you guys. Lisa Smith says feminists should love the upcoming draft, right? Do you ever think that women are ever going to get drafted? Come on, man. They know that they don't want any of that. I guarantee you, in my lifetime, we're never going to see women drafted in the United States. Come on now.
Got a new job at a different company, and he got a pay raise from what he was making at the other company. That pay bump was 5 times more than what I was contributing to the family with. And that new job ended up being way less stressful for him than his previous job. And just overall, our family felt so much more peace. I was able to thrive as a mother, as a house manager, taking care of my husband, making yummy meals, being more present in my home as the heart of the home. And he was able to thrive in his job and really do his
Whiteout says if they get drafted, let them on the front lines. You know who's going to be on the front lines first? It's going to be they're going to send
yeah.
them out there. we we do have women on the front lines. All the give them rifles and have them go up there and say, "Oh yeah, we do have women." Uh, Check the boxes with them. Ah.
his best work, knowing that he was providing well for our family. I know that I'm very blessed, and a lot of the things that I've mentioned are huge blessings that not everyone has access to. So if you are a working mama and you don't like it, and you don't want to work anymore, and you don't like other people taking care of your kids, I know that God wants you to be with your babies, and I know that he wants you to be the one raising them. So he will move mountains for you to be at home with your kids. And I don't know what that's going to look like for you, but I know that miracles happen, and I know that he will make it all work out for you if you can take the leap of faith and make changes in your life that you need to. This is where I'm.
There you go, you guys. Now, I'm not really religious. I don't do the whole God thing, but hey, like she makes sense.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
uh, you know, a man. Nothing makes a man feel like a man than when he's providing for a woman and a
For his
family.
kids.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man. Uh, Lisa Smith says put the chicks with D's on the front line. Raging Gamer says, you see the clip from the whatever podcast? The host said that drafting women would increase the birth rate as they would get pregnant before deployment. 100% true. 100% true. You can get out of the military if you become pregnant.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can be in the military and take a hardship claim and get out of the military due to a pregnancy. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. So this woman.
Grab a coffee with me while I tell you all the reasons I regret quitting my job to stay home with the kids. Hi, I have a pickup order for Taylor.
Oh yeah. So this is one of those where. Oh wait, is this one of those where she doesn't say anything? I didn't watch it. I just.
Awesome, thank you. Hi. a good day. Thank you.
Oh yeah, this is one of those where, oh yeah, all the reasons why, and she doesn't say anything. Th- That's another thing that they do on these TikTok things. Hold on one second. Okay, this one. Tell me what you think about this one, guys.
I quit my job to be a stay at home mom. Now my husband constantly reminds me that he owns this house and pays our bills. Whenever I, 30F, have tried to say something like, our bathroom needs so and so, or our house needs so and so, my husband, 30M, always has to point out that it's not our house, that it's his house, and when I get upset, he'll say, it's my house, but since you're mine, you get to live in it, or something similar. It makes me feel so awful when he does that. He sort of does it jokingly, but it happens without fail
Of
almost
course,
every
yeah.
time. And I try to tell him it's hurtful, and he just laughs and says he's kidding.
Ooh, what's that, Pyro?
Oh yeah, I would do the same. Like just just to mess with you, but in a funny way. Like not seriously. Like it's my house. You can get out if you don't like it. But
Well, so this guy actually bought the house, and
yeah,
her name's not on the deed. So technically, it
yeah,
is his house. Yeah,
yeah,
because I've
yeah.
watched this.
It is.
So watch.
For context, sorry, as he would say, he bought a house last year right before we got married. I was part of the entire process since we already lived together, but he put his savings into the down payment, and it was his name on everything for obvious reasons. I had recently spent the last of my savings to pay off student loans and was only doing freelance remote work. So
Did you catch that? Did you
Oh,
catch that?
the student loans.
Yeah. So she used her savings to pay off her student loans, and she was doing freelance remote work.
Oh,
And she thinks that she's going to get her deed on a house. Are you crazy? Well, before they got married. Come on
yeah,
now.
that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna
I don't
work.
know, man. Especially if he put his savings on a down payment. So odds are he put $40,000, $50,000 of his savings on a house. Maybe more than that.
Yeah.
I think that there should be. I don't know. Do you guys think that somewhere along the line in the marriage, if they've been married for 10 years, that he should put it on the deed? What do you guys think? I don't know. I don't know.
I wasn't really bringing in much money and was trying to focus on my mental health. He has a really good paying job and always said he was happy to support me. I've even talked about getting a job in my field again if that would make him happy, and he assured me I don't need to. But now it just feels like because his money is what buys mostly everything, that I'm some mooch just living off of him. Mind you, I'm pregnant with our first kid due very soon, and this was all discussed extensively that I was to be a stay-at-home mom. So why does he feel the need to hurt me like that? Does he secretly wish I was working and bringing home more money? Does he think I'm pathetic? It makes me feel like I'm a freaking roommate who hasn't paid rent, and he's doing me a favor. And another thing that confuses me is if my parents or relatives ever want to give us anything, like a wedding or baby shower gift, he gets annoyed because he wants to be the one to buy that stuff for us, and doesn't want to rely on other people. Edit. To answer some common questions. There was no prenup and no mention of wanting to keep assets split after marriage. We have a joint bank account, and I also maintain my old accounts under just my name. I don't want to portray him as some controlling jerk who doesn't let me do things. It's tough to paint an accurate picture since I don't want to give out my entire relationship story on Reddit, but I have the freedom to do whatever I want, and he is supportive. It's just little things like this that make me question his deeper feelings, even though anytime it comes up, he reassures me he is happy to support me and doesn't think I'm any less than he is. I want to be a stay-at-home mom, I don't want to put my child in daycare, and we both feel that way. The possibility of remote work is still there too if I feel I can balance both, but I think the deeper issue lies in our communication, and that's on me too. Update 1. Thanks to everyone who commented. I was honestly shocked that it got so much attention and
I'm not, because if you look at the comments on this video, all these women are like, I would leave him right away if he ever said that to me. Leave him, girl, divorce him and take the house anyway. You don't need him anyway. And guys, what would she do if she left? She'd be a single mom out here, you know,
On the
no
streets.
skills, no skills because she's doing freelance remote work.
Mm-hmm.
What would she do? She's in a good
Hmm.
situation right now. She should be able to say, "Look, man, don't say those things to me. They're hurtful." She has the right to be able to say that. Okay,
Yes.
but one of the biggest problems is she wants to feel like she's an equal partner in this. Okay. You guys know Doug and P has a problem with that term partner, and why? You want to know why, guys? Because partners, you're partners in business. And most of the time, partners draw up what in business? A contract
Yes.
that
It's
says,
all about business.
yep. And that contract says who's going to do what, when, where, and how. And I think that
Hmm.
because I don't hear men saying the term partner, guys, but put in the chat if you ever hear men say partner. Women say partner because it's a nebulous, vacuous term that they can change and manipulate and transform the conditions of the relationship to anything that they want because there's no contract. There's no contract. So be careful. That's why I like the term significant other,
Hmm.
husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, because those
Fiance.
have
Hmm.
implied rules and regulations and expectations. What do you think?
I
Uh,
completely agree. I completely agree with you.
yeah, I'm telling you guys, watch out for these women that say partner. Or you know what? Ask her what she means by partnership. A- Ask her what she means.
And if you hear like buck shuffle when she talks, you you already know what time she's on.
Exactly, right? Raising Gamer says that's what she should be doing, not exposing her business on the internet. I agree with that 100%. Steve M, thank you for the super chat. Why is she on Reddit versus the freelance work? 100%. Right out says spouse. Lisa Smith says husband and wife. I agree. Carlos X reporting from the freaking hellhole that is Portland, Oregon. In Portland, I've heard that word quite a bit from men. It's disturbing every time. It's because, you know, I mean, look, I'm from Washington State. I hate to say it, but a bunch of dudes in Washington State, Western Washington, and Portland are a bunch of freaking simps, dude. A bunch of soy milk drinking freaking simps. And the worst part about it is these guys, they don't realize simping doesn't work on any woman, even the liberal, purple haired, septum pierced women. Simping's
Yeah.
not going to work. Knock it off, guys.
All it does is just make them look down on you more.
Lisa Smith pulling out the old school. The Tom likes he used to call Portland 100% true. But yeah, Pyro, I agree, man. Stop simping for these women, guys. Knock it off.
That so
Yeah.
many people felt
They
somehow
are
that
not gonna let you hit. They are not gonna let you hit.
Yep.
help. I ended up talking to him a few nights ago, after I got all my thoughts down on paper and felt emotionally ready to talk about it. I said, when you point out that it's your house or that you paid for this and that, it makes me feel like I'm an unwanted guest in your house. I've told you how this makes me feel, but you still do it, which makes me feel like this isn't just a joke like you claim. I want to feel like an equal partner in our relationship.
You see that, guys? You catch that?
Jesus, hey, bro.
You knew that was coming, guys. You knew it.
Hmm.
Because let me just say this here. Women always talk about the stress of motherhood. And yes, the stress of motherhood is a lot. But the only bigger stress than that is having the financial responsibility of a family on your shoulders. And here's the thing, guys. One of the biggest problems with society, the housing market, the car buying market, all this stuff is that you have professional women who the average professional woman spends more on consumer goods than the average family of four in the United States, right? And companies know this. So the instead of single family homes, they're building condos and townhouses because that's what single women are gonna buy, right? And you have these
Hmm.
older single women where if they were a man, they would find some young thing, some freaking 25-year-old to marry and have kids with and support a family for their whole lives. Women will not, and I repeat, will not marry a lesser man and support that man and children for any length of time. They just won't do it. They just
That's
won't.
true.
And I think the stats are only 15% of marriages, the female is the breadwinner, and I guarantee you 10% of those end up in divorce. I guarantee it, at least. And I want to be an equal partner in this marriage.
Especially since we will be bringing our child into the world so soon. When we were engaged, we were both so excited to go house hunting together and make it our home, for us and our future kids. You told me you were more than happy to continue working so that I could stay home to take care of the house and kids and dogs, but lately, it feels like you resent me for it.
So, so my question is, what is she not doing around the house to make him resentful? Is he having to come home and cook his own meals? Is he is he having to come home and wash his own drawers? What is
And
she
that's what
not
I'm
doing?
wondering. I'm
What is she
wondering the
not doing?
same thing. She must be
Yeah,
hiding something.
yeah, yep.
Now that I'm bringing our child into the world, I want to make sure there's no hostility or resentment between us. And I want to hear your side because currently, I just feel hurt, and I'm worried this will keep building if I don't address it now. If me going back to work and contributing to the mortgage is what you want, despite what you said to me a year ago, then let's talk about it. So I read that to him, and he immediately said that he never meant anything by it and it was stupid and immature of him, and that he'd work on it. He didn't realize it hurt me so much. After talking it through a little, he said he thinks it might stem from growing up poor and finally building a comfortable life for himself. He agreed it probably has to also be an ego thing and maybe stems from the fact that his dad couldn't take care of their family and his mom had to work multiple jobs. He said he wants me to feel like an equal partner and wants me to feel at home in our house. I also asked about putting my name on the deed, and he said he would. I do think he means what he says, but I also need him to prove it with his actions and words for me to truly feel comfortable. But we're moving in the right direction, and I'm glad I was able to express that to him. Thanks again for all the advice. Update 2. I'm so stupid. I now understand all the red flag comments on my last posts. I didn't see it. I trusted him, and I only have myself to blame.
Uh-oh, did they get divorced? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Let's see, because I've never watched this before, so let's go.
Here's what happened. He went on a work trip this week and promised we would sort the house deed stuff when he comes back. His apology sounded genuine, and I believed him as much as I could without the proof yet. Today, I just had a weird feeling in my body. His texts about work have been really updatey, like constantly telling me what he's doing or where he's going. I didn't think anything of it until earlier when he said he was taking a nap and wouldn't be on his phone for a few hours. This is weird, because the man despises naps, they mess up his sleep, and he feels like crap after. So I checked his Google Play account from our home PC, as his Google account is always logged in. He probably doesn't know I know this, but I can see what apps he has or recently had installed on his phone. This is important because when we were dating, he had a severe dirty texting addiction. We broke up because of it. I had suspicions and caught him. But we ended up getting back together after he swore up and down it had stopped and even gave me permission to look at his phone whenever I wanted. I eventually stopped checking because I trusted him. A few years have passed, and we're obviously now married with a baby on the way, and I've trusted him thus far. Our intimacy has basically ended since I got pregnant, but I blame them more on myself than him because I just don't feel in the mood.
Yeah, yeah. And she's probably 240 pounds, all that.
Yeah.
Because women blow up nowadays when they have kids, man.
He never tried anything, so I didn't have to reject him. It was just like he felt it too, I guess, and I thought that was normal. So anyways, I looked at his account and saw that he had all the apps he used to use for his dirty texting installed and recently used on his phone: Snapchat, Telegram, WhatsApp, Instagram, Tumblr. But the worst one, the one that broke my heart seeing, is that he has Tinder installed. Does that mean during his work trips?
Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, man. If he has Tinder installed, he's
You
dipping it
already
in
know.
some other chick. Yeah,
Hmm.
man. Oh no. Oh no. Yikes.
He's actually doing it with other people? He's had a lot of work trips in the past 2 months since he won't be able to travel for a while when the baby arrives. I'm devastated and angry, and I feel so stupid that I was making excuses for him and trying to paint him in a better light when everyone was telling me to run. Now I don't know what to do. I want to call him and tell him I know, but the only evidence I have is screenshots from the Google Play website showing they were installed and recently used. I want to get real evidence because I know he'll uninstall everything before he's back. Part of me wants to just leave and go to my parents' house 4 hours away with the pictures printed out for him to find when he gets back, but I don't think that will solve anything.
Can you imagine if she did that? She packed up all of her stuff, and then, like, on the bedroom door, she had pictures of all of all the apps that were installed on his phone. There has to be a movie out there like that.
Hmm.
There has to be a movie out there. Can you imagine?
Update 3. Hey all, sorry for going ghost for a week. I ended up taking advice from some of the comments telling me to go to my parents' house. My mom recently retired, so he bought my story that she wanted to celebrate with me and treat me to a spa day, plus spend time with me before the baby gets here. I just didn't trust myself not to break down or to keep my cool when he got home. I had way too much to think about and figure out. Part of me was still wanting to defend him, I guess, because I didn't tell my mom why I came to see them until yesterday when I ended up telling her everything. We're meeting with a lawyer tomorrow morning to discuss my options. I'm no longer worried about getting my name on the deed, as I just want to be done with him. All I care about now is the safety of my child and trying to make the best decisions
My child. Did you catch that?
Jesus
Hmm.
H. Christ.
going forward.
Yeah.
I want to be clear, I don't care about his money. I don't want to take as much as I can, like some people have been saying. Screw that, I can make decent money once I start working again, and I find myself incredibly lucky to have supportive parents who will let me stay with them until I get on my feet. As of now, he doesn't know anything. I've kept up my normal texts with him, keeping him updated on what I'm doing with my mom. As for getting tested, I will be getting that done in the next few days. The reason I'm not as worried about that is because we haven't done it in months, he hasn't even tried. And I've had no symptoms, but I do know plenty of them have no symptoms, hence why I will be getting checked. I was also tested at the beginning of my pregnancy, and it came back all negative. Thank you again to everyone who helped me understand the severity of the problems in my marriage and that I need to leave him. I admit I was willfully blind to a lot of red flags, but knowing he's cheating on me again has made me painfully aware. I'm currently just trying to get through each day and will decide what else needs to be done after speaking with a lawyer.
So, first off, the guy's an idiot, man.
Yeah. Like, who keeps evidence?
Yeah, but not even that, man. Like, you okay? You gotta. I'm gonna put this here. He's okay. He showed. Uh, she saw signs that he did this kind of thing when they were dating.
Hmm.
That should have been a red flag. But she probably saw that he had a good job and made a lot of money and thought, oh, okay, well. And here's the thing, guys. Like people that exhibit the kind of behavior up front, it doesn't really change, right? And then he's an idiot for freaking losing his wife and potential child over over text messages. You know, I don't I don't believe in cheating, man. And if you've ever been cheated on in a serious relationship or a marriage, this is like a man or a woman, you wouldn't cheat either. It is not fun. It is not good. All right, guys. If you're married, don't cheat. Leave. Leave. If you're not happy, say, "Look, I'm not happy." Women do it all the time, so you should do it too.
That's true. I
If
agree.
you're not happy, don't cheat, guys, especially when you're married. And he's gonna lose his wife and child over some text messages. Come on now. Really? It's not worth it,
Yeah.
man. Imma say this, guys. I'm one of the few guys where I was married once, I divorced my ex-wife, I wanna get married again, right? And, uh, most men are gonna get married. We need more marriages because we need more families, right? And I don't think that you can have a family unless you're like, a husband and wife, right? And so, uh, I know certain red pill channels say, "Oh, don't get married," but guys, look, like most men are still gonna get married because men, we want a family, we want legacy. Even with the marriage laws, I just think that you should be able to vet a woman and vet the best situation. And hey, you know what? Be in a position where you can afford to get divorced. I know I can. I can afford to get divorced, guys. Again. So anyway, uh, once
I
you
think we
make
have.
go ahead.
I think like we need some laws like yeah. I think like Ghana got rid of no fault divorce. I think the person who is filing for divorce should pay instead.
They're trying to do that here. conservatives are attacking no fault divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? They shot down. You know, they shot down. The the federal protections against baby deletion. I can't say R versus W. I can't say it because my stream will get flagged. But once they got that shut down, they can do anything. I never thought that R versus W would ever get shot down in my lifetime, and they did it. So, hey guys, no fault divorce could be next. We don't know. So, this woman says, my PhD journey as a new mom was really tough, but not impossible to achieve. A PhD demands immense dedication, perseverance, and support for women. The challenge amplified, especially when they are balancing familiar responsibilities alongside rigorous research. So this woman is going to tell us what it's like to get a PhD while you are a mom. Now she's Indian, so Indians. I think the divorce rate in India is like 3%, and like Indian Americans, it's really really low too. She just dreams. I always dreamt about holding a high degree in a significant field of research and technology. The pursuit of a doctoral degree was a step towards my dream. PhD had definitely added values in my career and life. And I realized the worth walking down the finish line. Not that I had wanted it all in one swift go, and definitely not how I achieved it, undergoing this roller coaster ride. But as they say, all's well that ends well. So if anyone asks me today how do I feel about it, I say fantastic with conditions applied. Uh, uh, Ben from the Republic of Palau says it's never worth it to cheat. And it's a scummy thing to do. Yeah, guys,
Mhm.
once you make that commitment, don't cheat on your wife. Just don't leave
Yeah.
because
That's a low blow.
Because, I'm just gonna say it, a piece of ass ain't worth it, man. It's not. And you gotta sack it up. If you haven't had sex in a year and a half, a year, 6 months, you need to have that conversation and say, "Look, if we don't have sex, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave." 'Cause it's the same thing a woman would say, "If you lose your job, I'm gonna leave." Guys,
Mhm.
don't
Yeah.
cheat on your wife. Don't do it. Okay. Give me 1 second. Um, okay, she says, "I was a new mom when I enrolled. That was enough to set me apart. The journey began by enrolling myself in PhD when I expected it the least. The constant hormonal and emotional challenges were oscillating between yes over no. Carrying an infant and appearing for exams was awkward when I stepped in. It seemed embarrassing. Feeding the baby during the breaks allowed in between exams. All I could think those days was, it is for young people. Wait, it is for young people. They're staring, they're laughing when I was appearing. Run. I remember walking many meters away to find an isolated place to feed my child. PhD demands immense dedication, perseverance, and support. For women, the challenges amplify, especially when they're balancing familiar responsibilities alongside rigorous research. My PhD had all these elements and had been no less than any drama uh, at several stages. So I stepped into it when motherhood knocked me off with its blues. Uh, Lunatic, I had already turned in between raising my child and household responsibilities. Says, your hard work and knowledge never go to waste. All the information and knowledge of the past helped me, blah, blah, blah. Uh, Wait. Okay. Despite my impressive academic credentials and undeniable potential, no professor was willing to take me as a doctoral candidate. They looked past me at the problems I might encounter prioritizing my child over the work. They stared at me and my child sleeping over my shoulders. Every such pair of judging eyes gave me chills, questioning my abilities. Even I did not spare myself, judging my decision. What am I doing? Is it really the right time? I mean, he's so tiny. Do I really want to go through this? And most of the time, my brain cells demanded me to quit, like quit and leave campus. But at the same time, these denials made me furious. They left me irritated. I cried at home. So, guys, what these women don't tell you is She's married. Has a husband. So even with her husband's support, she's talking like she's a single mother. That she's going through this all by herself in the judgment. She had a husband. She has a husband who's there for her. That's why one of the worst things during Obama's presidency, Michelle Obama said that Barack is so busy that I feel like a single mother sometimes.
Jesus H. Christ.
She had the nerve to say that. So I can identify with single mothers because Barack is so busy. I feel like a single mother. What a disrespectful thing to say. What a disrespectful thing. Could you imagine if your wife said that about you guys? I feel like, or, or these, or there's actually a term called married single mothers. The women who are married but have to do it all by themselves.
What?
How disrespectful! Yes, it's a thing. It's a thing. Yep. Let me.
This is the only it's always the West. I'm hearing this from.
I think you guys think that I'm joking. Let me see if I can.
It's always the West.
Hold on 1 second.
Doug, I'm sorry for you guys.
Yep. Married single mothers. Give me 1 second, you guys.
Here are 5 signs that you're a
1 second.
If the phrase married single mom resonates with you, stick around. I recently shared my struggles of feeling like a married single mom and what that looked like
Here
for
it
me.
is,
So
guys.
to clarify
Hold on 1
again, it was
second.
not me dragging on my husband.
Listen to this garbage. Before we
If the
even
phrase
start,
married single mom resonates,
I'm gonna give this a.
Jesus H. Christ.
And married single mom, the term you may be thinking to yourself,
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
well, we're gonna find out.
if the phrase married single mom resonates with you, stick around. I recently shared my struggles of feeling like a married single mom and what that looked like for me. So to clarify again, it was not me dragging on my husband. I wasn't trying to say he's a bad dad or a bad partner, but that it's a dynamic the two of us were working on together. In a nutshell, this dynamic really just means that there is more load on the mom. The mom has more responsibilities and an increased mental load. My husband wanted to help me, but he just didn't really know how. Where I think the problem gets worse for a lot of people is that it's really hard to ask for help with a mental load. It's really hard to teach that mental load, not to say that it's impossible, but it does usually wind up being easier to just give up and do it yourself.
What a joke. What a freaking joke, you guys. This is crazy. And I'm about to blow up. Okay. These are men, 70% of households, the man is the breadwinner. This guy has to go out, provide for his family, and he can come home and help his wife with her problems, but she can't go to work and help him with his.
So funny. So
This is
very, very
crazy.
funny.
We've completely devalued what it means for a man to have the pressure of being the provider. The women don't want to give the man credit for being a provider, but then they don't want to provide. We have this, single motherhood is the most. Try supporting a family on your back. If you get sick, if you lose your job, the
You're
whole
screwed.
thing falls apart.
Hmm.
A married single mother. I dare some chick to say, if I ever heard that term, guys, if you are in a relationship or you're married, if you're married, don't ever say the word divorce, because once you say that word, you can never put it back in the bottle. If a woman has a child and tells a man the child's not yours, you can never put that back in the bottle. If a woman said, I feel like a married single mom, I'm out the door. I'm out. The disrespect, you guys. The disrespect. This is what's going on. This is a married woman. She's not out here by herself. And then she said it on social media, for Christ's sake. Oh my God. Have a freaking Aneurysm over here. This is crazy.
I see
A
y'all. You're getting
married
triggered right now.
I'm telling you, man, this stuff pisses me right off because there's so many good men out there who have to deal with what that community tab said, being psychoanalyzed, but and especially I'm gonna bring the race card out, okay? White women can play every piece on the chessboard. They can be married to white males, enjoy all the benefits of being with a white guy, and then call him an oppressor at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
Why am I?
crazy. This is clown world, you guys. Am I crazy?
You're not crazy at all. I see this, and every time I see this, I just cringe.
A married single mother. If anyone ever said that, if I'm married with kids, busting my ass to provide for the family, and she said that to me, I'd say, get out. You want to see what a single mother feels like? Get out of my house. How about that?
You're gonna have to experience it.
The disrespect, you guys. This is a married single mother is blatant misandry. This man courted you, proposed to you, married you, is supporting you and the family, and you're gonna spit in his face by calling yourself a married single mother. The fuck out of here.
The issue with that is when the resentment comes in. Now, like I've mentioned before, this is something that we were working on together. I've explained to him in the past that if he took on the physical load, it would help ease my mental load. This part might not sit very well with you guys. We went back and forth for a while with him saying he just didn't know what he was supposed to do. I went ahead and made a list of everything that needs to get done every day. A chore chart, if you will. And just
a chore chart?
Jesus H. Christ.
So, you guys, this is an example of a woman who's monopolized the reality of the home. Okay? They have this term called weaponized incompetence that women have come up with. And once again, you may be thinking,
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
It's where they say that that husbands act dumb so they don't have to do chores. Here's how this dynamic forms, you guys. The woman thinks that her way is the only way in the house, right? And so women feel this natural need to want to do everything in the house, and they take on an unreasonable workload, and they think that their way is the only way to do it. So men, we're not going to stop a woman from washing our drawers, from freaking washing the dishes and cooking the food. That's what we want, right? But
Yeah.
a woman will get upset and say, you know, you need to do the dishes. You need to do the laundry. And it's been a certain amount of time, maybe a year or two. So the guy's like, okay, so he sees her do it, but he wants to do it like she does it, and he can't do it. Guys, you can't do things like your significant other or your wife does around the house. It's the same way that she can't wash the car as good as you. She can't mow the lawn as good as you. She can't do it. But men don't ask women to help out with their chores. But women for the right to ask. That's why, guys, when you live with a woman, divide the chores up. Don't ever have a scenario where you're not doing anything. Like when I was living with my ex-wife, I like to vacuum the floor because I like seeing the little vacuum marks in the floor. I don't know, it releases some like dopamine in my head or something like that. I would do the dishes because she would cook. I said, look, I'll buy the groceries because the way to Doug MPA's heart is a fresh cooked meal, serve it on a plate. Then I will do the dishes afterwards. I'll put my headphones on and I will wash the dishes. I do the laundry because I do the laundry better than any woman I've ever dated. I make sure all the shirts are hanging the same way. All the socks are rolled. Nothing worse than when you're with a woman who freaking mismatches socks or doesn't roll the socks correctly. Shit pisses me off. Divide the chores up early, and whoever's doing whatever chore does it in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Guys, avoid this dynamic. You're not doing enough. What does that mean? He's an idiot for even letting this persist in the first place. I'm a married single mom.
A few months later, I no longer feel like a married single mom.
What a joke. See, it's a real thing, dude. See, he knows how, he doesn't want to. It's always an act. How does he react to the things he enjoys, like hobbies and work? Give it up and do it myself. My daily mantra. It's really not hard for me to ask him to help to ease my mental load. He just doesn't do it. How about you ease his workload at work? Go to his job and ask him what you can do to help him at his job. How about that? You're not going to do it. Especially if you're guys a blue collar guy. We have blue collar men in the sewers, on power poles.
Yes. Hmm.
Come home to
Doing
this garbage. Come
doing some
on.
dangerous jobs. Dangerous jobs.
Yeah. Why don't you go to his work on that oil rig and ask how you can help him? Why don't you get in the passenger seat of that big rig he has to drive and give him directions? You're not going to do any of that, are you? Oh, that stuff pisses me off. Ugh. I think that there should be an equal distribution of labor in the house. And both couples need to come on agreed to come to an agreement on how that's done. But once that agreement is reached, don't try to change it. All right, I'm done. That pisses me off, you guys. Seriously. Ugh, God. Carlos X says that hurts my brain. Yep. This
Yeah,
sounds like
my head hurts.
this sounds like a stay-at-home mom. This says, is this be serious? Yep. It says, how will this put the chore provided for the house? Exactly. Whiteout. Exactly. 100%. Lisa says, my husband doesn't do chores. He's the breadwinner. And I'm going to give Lisa a round of applause. Look, I'm not going to have any kids. And, my relationship, my marriage, I fully expect an equal distribution of duties because, I only date professional women. So we're going to sit down and hammer out who's going to do what. And that's it. And if she wants to help, if she sees me with a whole bunch of dishes in the freaking sink and she says, hey, I'll help you, that's fine. But I'm never going to be like, you never help me with the dishes. If I mow the yard, I'm not going to be like, you need to get out here and help me with the yard because my mental health. Guys don't do that. These women, oh, he doesn't pick up enough around the house. My mental health. I feel like a stay-at-home mom. What a joke. Yeah, Steve says it right. Bring the wife to work day, 100%. Says, so this woman, we're gonna go all the way to the end. So she says, my perseverance and resilience were tested on multiple occasions. Now I look back at times when I prioritized my work over my child. I do not regret my decisions. But back at the time, years back, I doubted every step of mine. There were moments when self-doubt crept in and the weight of my responsibilities threatened to overwhelm. But I always have found ounces of courage enough to not let these obstacles define my journey. Each setback taught me to pick myself up, recalibrate my goals, and march forward. After years of relentless dedication, I successfully defended my doctoral thesis, smiling cheek to cheek with joy, gratitude, and passion. The resolution shone brightly as I presented the findings, leaving the academic community beaming with pride and contentment. The research society was proud of my achievements. Reality struck me as I conveyed my gratitude towards them. My achievement lies in the knowledge I acquired during the half a decade of my life, not the sufferings. So anyway, so this whole thing's about her and how tough it was. Once again, she had a husband, and this whole thing is written like she's a freaking single mom. It's ridiculous. Once again, guys, we don't get credit for anything. All right. Sorry about that rant about that married single moms thing, but what a joke, dude. Oh God. Okay. So this woman here.
I'm quitting my job to be a stay-at-home mom. Yep, you heard that right. Some of you may or may not know that I've been a teacher for 5+ years. There's a lot of ups and downs with this profession, but overall, I've really loved my job. However, when I had my son in 2021, I returned to work after 3 months, and honestly, it just was never the same. Nobody really talks about being torn between your career and raising your children. I feel like I just never found a happy balance. So after almost 2 years and a lot of discussions with my husband, come the new year, I'm staying home with our son full time. I'm really nervous, but I can't wait for this new journey.
There you go. I'm gonna give her a round of applause. Now I understand that she's in a very privileged position because like what 77% of women have to work, but there's a lot of women out there who don't have to work, but they choose to prove some point. I have to, you know, I have to make sure that I'm independent in this marriage. Women say, "Oh yeah, I want to be in a relationship, but I don't want to lose my independence." Isn't that the point of being in a relationship or a marriage? And have you ever heard a guy say, "Yo, yo, bro, yo, girl, or I want to get married, but I don't want to lose my independence." You know what I'm saying? Men never say that ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So, all right. Oops. There's one more article I wanted to go over. Where'd it go? Okay. So this woman says, I stayed at home with my kids and now I regret it. The most expensive decision of my life, the most expensive decision of my life I made alone. There was no realtor, no car dealer, no travel agent when I chose to leave the paid workforce and become a stay-at-home mom. There was just me looking at my husband, my children, both those inside and outside of my body, and the chaos that was our lives. I had at no point did I calculate the lifetime impact of diminished earnings and prospects, because that's all it comes down to with these modern women. They don't see investing in your child as earnings or prospects. I looked at the year we were in. I looked at the year we were in and the following year, and I bolted. No part of my brain sat itself down and thought, what is the price both in this year's dollars and my lifetime earnings to leave the workforce? And is it a decision that a decade or two from now I might regret? At no point did I examine the non monetary costs, which would loom just as large. I just look at the lives we were leading, two demanding careers, two small children, and a third on the way, resulting in two adults feeling hopelessly out of control. One day I was working on the massive trading floor of a London bank. The next, I was on the floor of my children's playroom. And while it meant I would forego this month's paycheck and the next, not once did I think of what the job market would look like for me once these small children were launched into their school lives and then their own lives. And therein lies my most expensive mistake. I stayed at home with my kids because I wanted to be with them. I had a job that allowed me very little time with them on weekdays, and I felt our time was short. I left before they woke up in the morning and came home to children who had eaten dinner and were bathed and in their pajamas. I often wondered who was raising them. I did not stay home because I believed they needed me or that the nanny I had hired could not do a great job. So, guys, there's an emerging field of of uh, of clinical mental health practitioners who are addressing women who weren't there for their kid when they were younger, because a lot of women, especially women, they feel guilty about not being there when their children were young, because your children are only young once.
Hmm.
And once that time is gone, it's gone forever. You're gonna work 30, 40, sometimes 50 years, but your kids are only 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old once in their lives. So you start to see more and more of these women going to see a therapist because they missed out on their children's best years. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, very crazy.
Yep. Says,
And then
go ahead.
yeah, and yeah, and I think it's like if you don't spend a lot of time with your kids, that they don't really get very attached to you. Like they don't really hate you, but they have a high chance of not really love like loving you more as a parent than the person who is raising you for a very long time.
There is evidence that Gen Z, because of what we're talking about, Gen Z daughters don't want to be like their mothers. This one's called Gen Z daughters don't want to follow in their professional mother's footsteps. And it's because of stuff like that. You weren't there when I was younger. You know, you weren't
Mhm.
there for me in high school, mom. You weren't there for me. So you know what? I don't want to be a lawyer or a surgeon or some executive VP at a company. I don't want to because I don't want to be like you, mom. It's happening more and more. Says now on the downslope of parenting, I have misgivings about my decision to stay home. It would be far too strong a word to say I have regrets. I don't know any parent who regrets time spent with their kids, especially kids who have moved on to their own lives. Although I am fully aware that being a stay-at-home parent was certainly a luxury, staring at an empty nest, varied, diminished prospects of employment, I have real remorse. So I gotta ask, does her husband like what? Can't she find some hobbies or something? Why does she have to go back to work? Especially a job that was taking that much of her time away. And then is her husband like deficient or something? It doesn't sound like it. She feels diminished, but like what? Why doesn't she start mentoring like young girls or start volunteering or something like that? But to go,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like they need the income. So what does she feel diminished for?
The- uh, yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't understand it. Like, what you want to go back to leaving the house at 6 and get back home at 7, especially in your 40s or 50s? And I'm hoping that she's gonna take this out on her husband. He doesn't have to come home and she's like, I can't have a good job, blah 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 blah. And he has to come home to that while he's working. So here are the regrets I have about staying home with my kids. My world became very narrow. During the years at home with my children, I made the most wonderful friends, women I hope to know all my life. But living in the suburbs among women of shockingly similar backgrounds, interests, and aspirations narrowed the scope of people with whom I interacted with. In the workplace, my contacts and friends included both genders and people of every description, and I was better for it. Look, man, I grew up in the suburbs. I can tell you, in America, the best place to raise children is the suburbs. The schools are better. It's quieter out there. It's not as exciting as the big city, and it's not as boring as the country. And you want to surround yourself with like-minded people, especially like-minded women. So I don't see why she regrets her world becoming narrow. My husband and I slipped into a more traditional marriage. Oh, here we go.
Jesus H. Christ.
Before I quit working, my husband and I did the same job. We left in the morning together and came home together to stare at each other and at our small children through a blinding haze of exhaustion. In every way, my husband sees me as his equal, but in the years that I have been a housewife, our partnership has developed a faint 1950s whiff. He doesn't ask me to run to the dry cleaners or fish store, but let's be fair, they are both closed by the time he gets home. Look at this craziness, you guys. Look at this. You have time to do it, especially with the kids in school. What else are you doing? Ugh. 3, I became outdated. I worked in banking on Wall Street in a technologically cutting edge department. Just as I mastered every new the computer or system, it would be whisked away and replaced by newer, faster models and programs. I was au fait with with software the public wouldn't see for years, and anything I didn't understand was explained to me by an MIT trained analyst. In my world, I often use my young kids as tech support and endure their snide remarks and eye rolling, knowing deep inside that at one time it was very different. Yeah, but that happens to all of us, man. It happens to all of us. Pyro, I remember the time before smartphones. Okay,
Hmm.
I didn't get my
Yeah.
first iPhone until I was 29 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to uh I went to high school and community college without email. We had just
That's
started getting
crazy.
email addresses, but yeah, I graduated high school in 1999, and then I went to community college from 2001 to 2003. Yeah, man. Yes. Yep. It happens to all of us. I always joke that in 10 years, my nephew is going to show me how to plug some chip into my neck and roll my eyes to make a phone call. Oh man.
That's. I don't think that like. uh, Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen for a very long time, or ever.
Yeah. Right. You know what? Who knows, man? Because if you look, when I was younger, my math teacher used to say, "Hey, you have to learn how to show your work with math because you, 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 you're not going to be able to carry a calculator around with you all the time." Yeah, well, who had the last laugh on that one? Ah, ah, ah. I got a phone, a GPS, a calculator, everything all in my hand. I have the wealth of humans' knowledge in my hand at all times.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But back in the day, man, I'm telling you, it says I let down those who went before me. In some cosmic way, I feel that I let down a generation of women who made it possible for every young girl to dream big, even though I know the real goal of the women's movement was to be able to dream to do anything. One summer, I read the Feminine Mystique. Uh-oh.
Jesus H. Christ.
Curled up on a couch in my grandparents' home. The Feminine Mystique is some of the worst feminist literature out there, you guys. The book spoke to me, and my mother and grandmother spoke to me, warning me not to tread the path they had taken, leaving the workforce after their children were born. But the book and my mother spoke to a young, ambitious preteen, not a young mother. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. Her mother and grandmother warned her not to stay at home and raise her children. There it is. There it is, guys. This is the biggest problem right here. Lisa says, it was awesome growing up before the internet was invented. Shout out to the other Gen Xers. Oh, yeah, man. Yep, you got it. Carlos says, same Doug and PA, how graduated the same year. Prince at the high school graduation party. Yeah, boy. That's what I'm talking about. We're gonna party like it's 1999. Oh, yeah, man. That was great. You guys remember the whole Y2K scare? Remember that? And everyone thought that all the electronics were going to shut off, or that everything was going to come to an end because of Y2K. Remember that? Oh, those were the days, man. She said, "I use my driver's license is far more than my degrees. I got my driver's license after a short course and a couple of lessons in 11th grade. My post-secondary education took 6 years of hard work, and yet for years I used my driver's license far more than my formal education. And on one level, I felt like I was shortchanging myself. Those who educated, trained, and believed in me had prepared me for more than driving carpools. Six, my kids think I did nothing. They saw me cooking, cleaning, driving, volunteering, and even writing, but they know what a job looks like, and they didn't think I had one. So you know what? This is turning around though, because um, the same as we have a bunch of friends who don't have fathers, and you have a father, and your friends look at you like, "Dang, you have a dad." It's the same thing with maybe your kids didn't see that you had a job, but all the kids who didn't have housewives sure did see you had a job. Our next door neighbors, when I was growing up, they're your stereotypical military family. their dad was an officer in the military. The mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I was like, wow, they have a stay-at-home mom. I mean, my mom was cool too, but it was just so different. I'm like, dang, like she has a wow, like you know, she gets to take them to school and drop them off and bake them cookies whenever they want, and they come home to like a you know a fresh cooked meal for dinner every single night. Wow, what is that about? So 7, I got sucked into a mountain of volunteer work. Some of this work was deeply meaningful and some of it is trivial in the extreme. It's very easy to feel as though you are doing something, whether it is sitting on a hospital board or raising funds for a nursery school. Volunteer activities involve a flurry of activity. At the end, those who are running the organization carry on and your job is over. 8, I worried more. Being around my children so much of the time gave me the chance to focus on them at a granular level. I feel fairly certain that neither they nor I benefited from the glaring light it's shown upon us. Helicoptering takes time, and I had the time. If I had worked outside our home, I would have still worried about them, but might have confined my concerns to more substantive matters. So, so, so here's the thing with that. Once your kid gets a smartphone, you have to become a helicopter parent. Because if you're not careful, that phone will teach your children more than than the parents ever will. This is the time where helicopter parenting is needed now more than ever. You see these young girls who meet some guy online and then like take off to go meet some dude that they met online. You know what I'm saying? Or
Hmm.
you see these female teachers texting these young boys, explicit pictures of themselves. And the mom grabs the phone and goes through it and says, "Who's this? Who's this grown woman texting my freaking 13-year-old pictures of her hoo-ha? What is going on here?" Telling you, man, this is a time of the helicopter parent. Says 9. I lowered my sights and lost my confidence. But, uh, but far and away, my biggest regret about my years at home was I lowered my sights for myself as I dimmed in my own mind what I thought I was capable of. I let go of the burning ambition I once held because I didn't feel as though I could hold it and 3 babies at the same time. My husband did not do this. My children did not do this. I did this. And the years that I was home, I lulled myself into thinking that I was accomplishing enough because I was raising my children. And as any parent who has spent a day with a child knows, that can fill all of the hours in a day. What I hadn't realized was how my constant focus on my family would result in my aspirations for myself slipping away. Despite it being obvious, I did not focus on the inevitable obsolescence that my job as a mom foretold. She's acting like she's a total failure. But to me, she did the most important thing I think a parent should do is raise constructive, law-abiding citizens. And if she did that, mission accomplished. Everything else is moot. That's for parents. If you don't want children, your life mission is different. But she's a mom, so I would tell her mission accomplished. What do you think, Pyro?
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with you 100%.
So if I could, what would I do differently? If I could wind back the tape, have a do-over, what would I have done differently? Look on at my grown and nearly grown sons. I'm grateful for the gift of time we had, yet I wish I had tried to keep a finger, a toe, or a hand in the working world to ease an eventual return. I wish I had kept the pilot light lit under a career so when I was ready to return, when my teens' lives were more than their own, uh, I could turn things back up again. I did not have a job well suited to part-time work. Work at home was technologically impossible at the time, but the solution required imagination, not capitulation. And with hindsight, I would have recognized that over time, my parenting and career would both ebb and flow, but neither would nor should ever end. I don't know what she's talking about, man. I told you guys, I don't think she's a failure at all. I think she did the right thing, and she should thank her husband for being able to afford her staying at home. Because a
Hmm.
lot of women wish they could, but they can't afford it because they're average people. So
Yes.
she should have a little thing here at the bottom saying, "And thank you to my husband for making enough money for me to stay home with our kids. But they're not going to do that, are they? We're coming up on 149 here. There's a couple more things I want to go over. So let's see this one right here. How my husband and I adjusted to becoming a stay-at-home mom.
Mom, I literally just quit my job one day. Like, my husband came home from work and I was like, I quit my job today. And he was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, yep, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom now. And this is a conversation that he and I had previously. Like, we had discussed how my job, I was underpaid, underappreciated. My mental health was suffering. Like, Sam was walking at this point. I couldn't do what I was doing. I was working in corporate marketing. So I was on the phone for like 4 to 6 hours a day. And I had a toddler.
She was working in corporate marketing because, of course, she was.
Jesus H.
She probably has a degree in marketing too, because they all do.
It was just not possible to keep giving the attention that I needed to.
What's that?
Oh yeah, sorry for cutting you off. I'm asking like degree in marketing. Does does it help to make more money?
No.
Oh,
Let's see. What can I do with a degree in marketing?
well, once I hear marketing, in my mind, that sounds like money to me.
Nah, man. No, because the problem is so many women get their degrees in marketing. The market's flooded with them. It says, okay, a marketing degree can prepare you for many roles, including social media marketing specialist, a marketing research analyst, identify what customers want to buy and how much they're willing to pay, market researcher, a sales specialist or a sales manager, a copywriter, an event planner, and a product promoter. Yeah. And then, yeah, business, sales, and advertising. Okay. So let's see how much can you make with a marketing degree? So entry level, 32,000 to 54,000. What's the average salary? I'll put average salary with a marketing degree. Is about 54,000
Pretty
on
average.
average. Yeah.
I mean,
Lisa, just real quick. Lisa, thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Conquering Wanderers says the best marketing folks come from engineering, finance, and STEM fields on 100%. Go ahead, Pyro.
Wow. Oh yeah, that lady. She almost had like my sister full name.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
hmm
but it's
Um,
like Melissa. Melissa is is her first name though. Like that's all of it, and her last name is the exact same as her. So I'm surprised.
you're going in and out.
People. Hmm? Did I lose connection?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
My
I thought I thought I lost connection a while ago.
no. That was me. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm back. Okay. So yeah, a marketing degree is about 54,000, and there's a lot of women who get marketing degrees. The problem is they're saturated with it, and you have to live in certain areas. So you have to live in a major city, and marketing is you know, the first out when there's a uh, if staffing have to be laid off, human resources and marketing are the first to go, and advertising.
Mhm. Yes.
Conquering Wonder says, look up product marketing. Product. Oh no! Oh no! I'll do that. Product. Product marketing salary. Oh man, average salary of a product marketing manager is $118,000 a year. Wow. So some of the highest paying cities for product marketers include Richmond, California, Kirkland, Washington, and Bellevue, Washington. Okay, wow. Okay. So, um, needs what type of degree? Okay, so yeah, just a bachelor's in marketing and business studies, but you have to move to those cities though. Okay, I didn't know that. All right, Conquering Wonder, good job. Okay, all right, back to yeah. So like marketing, it'll give you an average salary like 54,000, but the problem is you have to live in a major city where 54,000 probably won't go that far. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. So.
To both things. So before I actually even quit my job to become a stay-at-home mom, we had conversations about what that would look like. But the only thing we talked about.
Oh, and a conquering wanderer. One of the biggest differences between American car companies and Japanese car companies is that the CEOs of the C-suite employees of American car companies are former are salespeople, right? The CEO, the C-suite employees of a Japanese car company are engineers. Almost all of them worked in the engineering department before they became the CEOs. And that is the difference between American car company culture and Japanese car company culture.
About were the financials of it. We didn't talk about whose responsibilities things were. We didn't talk about shifts in our dynamic. We didn't talk about any of that. And so after about a month or so, I was like, wait a second. This is not at all what I signed up for. This is the thing. Every person has their quirk. Every person has that one thing that a lot of other people are like, yeah, no, that's not for me. And for me, that is my particularities and my specific way of doing things. My husband is amazingly receptive to the way that I express things. Like my intentional word choice is everything in my life. Like I am very methodical with every single thing I do. And that drives some people up the wall. My husband, he's like, great, give me the structure. Like he needs my lockdown OCD structure.
See, but the biggest problem is women like her. So he just accepted the fact that she's OCD, and that's where this whole weaponized incompetence thing comes from. So
Hmm.
she has taken on the role early on that she's going to tell her husband how to do things. Now, 5 years from now, she's going to be like, he never does. He never takes the initiative on anything. He never does this. He never does that.
Well,
This is how it starts, you guys. This is
yes.
how it starts. I
Yeah, I
keep
think.
telling you. Huh? Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry for keep cutting you off. I gotta stop doing that.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's okay. Anytime you want. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. All I'm saying is, yeah, I think the reason why he looks to her, to certain things because if he wants certain information that he doesn't understand or don't know how to deal with, she's already a good asset to just say, all right, my wife knows how to do this and knows how to do that. So I might as well just ask her if this is the right choice or this is not not a right choice. But at the end of the day, she's not gonna look at him the same way. In our opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree, 100%. You're supposed to concede to an expert when someone shows you that they're good at something. And if a woman shows that she's good at like running a household, well, you just concede to her and let her do it. But the problem is
Mhm.
modern women, once again, he doesn't know how to do this correctly. He doesn't have, and when he tries to do something, he doesn't do it like you. Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna give him hell if he doesn't do anything. You're gonna give him hell if he does do something. It's a loser. That's why you don't let this happen, guys. I don't care how OCD she is. I'm gonna say, look, this is what I'm doing around the house for the next 30 years. That's it.
Hmm. Yes. And if you're not doing it right, that's not how you do it. You should do it the way I tell you to do it.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I agree. Because he sits there waiting for her to ask him to do something. And then she's going to get tired of it and resent him for it.
Hmm.
And it's going to be 5 or 10 years or long enough where like, she's going to want him to take more initiative, but he hasn't had to in years. It's just like how a lot of men after a divorce, so like women automatically take up the role as the social director in the marriage 80% of the time, right? So when a great divorce happens, a man has conceded meeting new people, meeting new friends to his wife and directing the social life, then she leaves him and he hasn't had to make friends or hasn't had to do anything social in 20 years. So, a lot of these guys take themselves out.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Guys, don't concede this stuff to your wife. Don't do it. Or if you do it, make sure she knows you're taking this role on in perpetuity. Don't go back. It'd be like if a woman was a housewife and then the kids graduate high school and leave the house, and the man says, "Well, you're going to work now." No, she's been a housewife for 20 years. You can't just make it. If she wants to go back into working, she should. If she doesn't, you can't change that role on her unless she wants to do it. But it's the same thing with
Hmm.
this stuff on the opposite. If you tell your husband how he should do things around the house, don't get mad when he doesn't take any initiative.
So we had this conversation, and I was like, look, the reason I became a stay at home mom in the first place is because I could not give 100% to my job and to our child, now children. And he finally understood when I showed him. I was like, look, I have this many hours in a day, this many were consumed with work, and when you came home, this many of your hours were consumed with helping around the house. Now that I'm not working, your after work hours are adding to my during the day hours, which makes my life no different than it was before, because I was already doing stuff during the day and then doing stuff at night and then taking care of our kid and then doing your stuff during the day. And then I became resentful really fast. So we decided that the best way to remove the resentment from this was to literally list out the things that we were adamant about doing or adamant about not doing. So for me personally, I am very particular about how the way things are folded. So that's me. I'm not mowing the grass though, so that's Paul. And then we decided that during the day, anything that I get done around the house, in addition to kids' laundry, making sure that the house is just picked up so that our children have a safe and healthy environment. Anything on top of that, any laundry, any vacuuming, mopping, cleaning that's not.
Jessica's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. We were talking about the women that chose to leave their careers and become housewives. That's what we're talking about tonight.
Needed for stay-at-home mom functional life, that was just a bonus. I am not expected when Paul gets home to have done anything other than ensure our children had a safe, healthy, and productive day. Because that's what being a stay-at-home mom is. My job is not to do my husband's laundry. My job is not to be wiping the windows. My job is to be taking care of our children, to be nurturing them, to be making this house a home. That's what my job is.
Wait a minute. Holy crap.
Jesus H. Christ.
So, okay, you guys, so women that don't want to cook for a man, you have to cook for yourself. You have to cook for your kids.
Hmm.
So you cook for your husband. If your husband wasn't there, you'd have to cook for your children. Doing
Yeah,
the laundry.
and
If
that's
your
that.
husband wasn't there, you be doing your laundry and your kids' laundry. So you might as well do his too. What were you saying?
Yeah, I think you're completely 100% right. I not even hand washing it. Like back then, people hand wash laundry, but now you can just throw that in the machine and throw it in the dryer, and it doesn't even take that much time to fold clothes.
Yep, yep. I'm telling you, man. This is it. The fact that these look, being a stay-at-home mom has to be hard, but it is a luxury that most women can't afford, and there are more women who wish that they were stay-at-home moms than stay-at-home moms who wish that they weren't. And I just
Hmm.
wish these women would realize that the position that they're in and the fact that their husbands are busting their behinds to be able to provide them the opportunity to be able to stay at home.
And I know that not everyone has the ability to be a stay-at-home mom purely because, like, I just don't want to work anymore. My mental health is suffering. But everyone's situation is different. Everyone's circumstance is different. But you do have to communicate. That resentment will eat you alive if you don't have conversations. I really hope this helps. Love you. Bye.
What do we think, guys? Her job isn't to do her husband's laundry. It's not
Wow.
to cook him food. It's to make sure that the kids have a safe environment.
Hmm. Of course, because because the husband is never taking care of everybody in the house, not just himself, not just his kids, everybody. Well,
Yep.
that's
It's
why,
sad, man. Go ahead.
yeah, that's why I just look at women just differently because all they think about is themselves.
On the pecking order, it goes her, the kids, the dog, her family, her friends, and then you.
Well,
How it goes.
I think you should say her, the money, and then the kids. But I completely agree with you.
Yep, yep, it's true. I'm gonna show a couple more. So I'm just gonna show. So these are the women. I'm gonna show two of these TikToks of women that like hate being a mom. Because I have a video coming up about these. I'll give you a preview. But these are the women that hate motherhood, and then we'll wrap it up.
You know, I really feel for people that really don't have like a real strong village. Like this shit is not fucking easy. Like it's hard enough motherfuckers gotta work every fucking day. But to have a child and then you gotta work and then you gotta just stay afloat, like I can't make this up. Like whoever that has no children, please. And if you want some, please stop the want.
So first off, you see the tattoos, you see the nose ring. She has no village, so you know what that means.
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom.
Come on, guys, you already
Big
know it.
mama, big
Uh huh.
mama.
Look at that ugly tattoo, man. Come on. At least she has her natural hair on her head. Hey, Jessica. At least she doesn't ha- have a weave on her head. I'd rather have these
Hmm.
weird freaking Bride of Frankenstein puffs on her head than have a nasty looking weave.
Because that
Dude, I'll take a woman who's shaved bald over a weave.
Yeah, bro, at least I can just grab her head top and not pull out the weave.
Pyro.
that shit gets so out of pocket sometimes to the point where it's just like, why? Like, I don't know how y'all gonna come to me about this, but it's just like, why couldn't I be the woman that couldn't have kids? Because if I would have knew that my journey was gonna be like this, I would have just rather wanted than to have. Like, this shit ain't cool. Like, at times, like, and then when you're single, it's so disgusting. Like, why? I just don't understand why men just be out here dropping these kids off on women, and then y'all just think that we supposed to just do it all.
Did you hear what she said? Did you catch what she just said?
Jesus H. Christ.
I don't know why these men be dropping these kids off on women like women don't have any responsibility about who they decide to have a kid with.
Wow. Of course. Deadbeat mothers. There's no such thing as deadbeat mothers, of course. Of
Yep, of
course.
course not. Of course not.
Oh, like fucking all, like, it's just not cool, man. Like, for real. I fucking hate it here. I fucking hate it here. Like,
Guys, don't ever trust a woman who's crying in front of a camera on social media. Don't do it. Don't do it. Come on now.
I really wish that I couldn't have did it. Like, if I would have known, like, it did. I really hate too that I had old school parents where it was like, oh, you gotta get married and then have kids. Even in my fucking marriage, like, this shit is a scam. Like, all this shit is a fucking scam. Like, kudos to you bitches that found a man that'll never leave you, that'll never leave you out here. But this other shit, it be so draining. It's so fucking draining. Even when you trying to make life just more comfortable where you are just okay. Like, the shit's not okay. The shit's not okay. And I don't come.
And guys, you know what? Even worse than eating, even worse than putting on makeup, I hate when women are driving in the car while they're doing TikTok. I hate it because what if they get in a wreck? What if?
Yeah.
At least makeup and eating, the only thing that they're gonna harm is our ears and our eyes because we're watching the video. But she can run into someone right now. You know?
Yeah, and end up offlining them.
Yeah. Crazy.
On social media for no fucking attention, but
Listen.
this shit is
Listen.
it's so fucking draining. Even when you trying to make life just more comfortable where you are just okay. Like, the shit's not okay. The shit's not okay. And I don't come on social media for no fucking attention, but
Of course she doesn't.
this shit is trash. Like, this shit is fucking trash, and I just hate it so fucking much. If I could do it all over again, I probably would have just did what the fucking doctor told me to do, and that was to get an abortion.
Jesus H. Christ.
There you go, guys. These are the single mothers out there with children. And her kid is gonna get a smartphone one day and gonna see that video. And she doesn't give a good god dang. Isn't that awful?
Yeah. It
Isn't that
is
sad?
terrible.
One more. So this woman here.
Love my kid. Fucking hate being a mom. I fucking hate being a parent. Like, I fucking hate it. And I feel bad for saying that, but like, I wish someone would have let people with BPD know that like we really shouldn't be moms. Like,
So BPD is bipolar disorder. She's a mother with bipolar disorder. Yikes. Ugh.
Yeah, I think everybody's gonna be against what I'm saying, but people who aren't mentally well shouldn't be having children or in relationship, in my opinion.
And I gotta be equal on both sides, man. Like the women should be having kids, but dude, she shouldn't be banging these girls either. You know what's sad? I'm sure this happens in other races too, but in the black community especially, the mentally unwell women and the mentally challenged women always end up with kids. Isn't that sad?
Yes.
Isn't that
Mm-hmm.
gross?
I always see it. These guys are just have no standards.
None.
Having a kid is too fucking complicated. I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to be responsible for this tiny human. I just want to be responsible for myself, and it's too late now.
And
I didn't know
another one, nose piercing, tattoos. Of course.
it was going to be like this. I didn't know I was going to be doing it all by myself with no support system, no family, no anything. I didn't know. If I would have known, I would have never done it.
So no family, doing it by yourself, no support system. You know what that means?
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom.
Remember, was it Pookie, Ray Ray, or Nug Nug, or all of the above?
If you're watching this clip, you probably had two reactions.
Okay. This girl right here. You guys know what KRS-One? You know the rapper KRS-One. He's like old school. This girl looks just like. Let me show you KRS-One. Bro, look.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly like exactly like
Looks just like him. Look, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a goofy looking dude, man. Yep. Look at that, right?
It does.
Man, that could be the version of KRS-One. All right.
And more than two, but the main ones, right? You probably had no sympathy for her. You're probably like, listen, she had 9 months. She had time to decide if she was going to have this baby or not. And now she's crying about it because, being a parent is tough and she acting like she didn't know, right? That's probably one of y'all's reactions. Other reactions.
That's what I'm thinking. This child did not have to be here. It didn't have to, and she chose to give birth to it anyway. Guys, it is 2024. No child gets born without a woman wanting it to be here. So if you see these women crying about it, odds are there's a man who told her not to have it in the first place, and she did it anyway.
Mhm. Yes.
Yep. Reggie says, a lot of Western women can't stand children, let alone being mothers. As a man, you need to make sure to not have a kid with these kind of women. You're ruining a child's life by giving them such a mother. 100% true. I'm going to give Ragey Gamer a round of applause. I agree with them wholeheartedly.
Could be empathy, right? Understanding where she's coming from.
See, we have to understand where she's coming from. She's a victim. She know not what she did. Always.
Don't even mean that you have to agree or feel like I felt that way before, but it's like I see how she could feel that way, right, as a mom. But whatever your reaction is, it doesn't change the fact that this is the reality for a lot of mothers, unfortunately. And it's not something that's talked about. And when it is talked about, it's always black and white. There's never a gray area. There's never an in between.
It's because there's a child involved. That's why. There can't be a gray area when a young child's life is at stake. That's why there should be no gray area. You have this child, you have to take care of that child. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
How can you make that gray, Pyro? How?
But you think the best thing you should do is take care of like your children, like make sure you choose the right dude. Just look for the dude who you know. Yeah, I mean, you could just look at him. Yeah, this dude can be a father, but no, they just choose dudes who are just not. Who, either they have mommy issue or daddy issue. Like something has to be wrong with him in some way to her being with him.
Yep, I agree. It's always the man's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
Yes, and she chose him. She chose him.
Yep, she opened up her legs, let him shoot up the club, knowing she was bipolar. Did it anyway, and I guarantee you that there are people in her life saying, "Don't do it," but she did it anyway because you can't
Yeah,
tell these women nothing. You can't tell them nothing.
doing, or damn, I feel for her, right? But I think what people aren't taking into account is key things that she said. First of all, she said that she had BPD. If you don't know what that is, that's borderline personality disorder, okay? It's also just being emotionally unstable, meaning 1 minute she probably did think this was a great idea, right? But now knowing that she has unstable emotions where she has a higher presence of depression and anxiety, right? Now the baby is here, that's out the window.
And now that baby's life is at risk because it has a mentally unstable mother.
yes,
If you ever see a woman crying like this about her kids on social media, they should take that kid away from that woman as soon as possible
agreed.
because you could find that baby in a garbage can. In fact, woman puts baby in dumpster. You guys remember this?
We're here for sentencing following a jury trial in which the defendant was convicted.
12 strangers found 19-year-old Alexis Avila guilty 2 weeks ago. Today, Judge William Shoebridge decided the appropriate punishment for her crimes.
I based that upon finding that this was a heinous crime. To toss one's own child into a dumpster like trash is something that it is an unforgivable event by any mother.
He sentenced
Yeah,
Avila to 16 years in prison and 2 years on parole. She'll get credit for the 475 days of time already served on house arrest.
I think over
on house arrest.
and over again,
Say again?
On house arrest, because if
Yep.
she ever went to prison, oh God, when the other woman in there done with her, she ain't making it. She's not making it back out.
I wonder because in a male prison, if you do stuff to kids and you're a man, you can't be put in general population because they'll freaking try to take you out. But I
Yeah,
wonder if it's that way in women's prisons where if women find out that you did something to your child, that they freaking go after you. I gotta look that up because
yeah,
crimes against children in a
yeah. I heard
male
it.
prison, oh no. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I heard I heard like women will use broomstick and insert it.
Ah! Oh no.
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh, no. Big Big Bertha and her broken mop handle. Oh no. Ah. Oh no. Big Shirley and her broken mop handle. Ugh.
fact that there's no doubt that we'd be looking at a murder case, but for luck.
Judge Shoebridge said
Look at this. Caught on CCT camera.
Jesus H. Christ.
Look at this.
he knocked 2 years off the maximum 18-year sentence because of a few factors, like her age, Avila's brain not being fully developed, and her mental state.
Now, do you think a guy would have gotten any of that consideration?
Guess what? Even if he was 15, they would drop him under the jail.
You know
You,
what? Let's rewind. Let's hear that again.
18-year sentence because of a few factors, like her age, Avila's brain not being fully developed, and her mental state.
What a joke, man. What a freaking joke. I'll tell you, women are so oppressed in this society. It's so much harder being a woman. You can throw your baby in a dumpster and not get the maximum sentence. Caught on camera and not get the maximum sentence. If a guy would have
Yeah.
done this, yeah, he'd be on freaking death row. It's crazy, man.
A lot of people do crazy things when they're a young
No whiteout. The baby made it. The baby's alive.
person, but this went beyond the pale. But I do think your age is a significant thing.
He called evidence she was suffering from bipolar disorder uncontradicted.
Undiagnosed mental illness is probably a leading cause of people committing criminal acts.
Avila spoke for herself before she learned her fate.
What is she gonna say? I can't even imagine, man. Caught on camera putting your baby in a freaking dumpster. What could she possibly say?
I regret that I had to miss out on every first milestone the baby had and that I
You
deprived
see the baby?
him of motherly love. I regret that his first hours of life were traumatic, and I regret that he will always have this in the back of his head.
Both of the teenager's parents also pled with the judge.
Your Honor, I can promise you that if me or her mom ever even had a clue that she was pregnant, we would never be in this situation.
The actions she took on that fateful day are unimaginable and will forever be with us. But that is not who she is. That is not how we raised her.
And the baby's father made a statement saying he'll never forgive or forget what happened that day.
My healthy, my loving and handsome baby boy, he's never going to forget the things you did. But for that, I can say that my son will be somebody one day, no matter how much he has already been through.
You know what? I'm gonna give that father a round of applause.
Yeah, I think I know why she got rid of it. But I think I'm just gonna talk out of my behind. So I'm probably just gonna leave that alone.
Look, she didn't look. There have been multiple stories where women have hidden the pregnancy from their parents, had the baby, and then just couldn't, and just were in complete denial. And they thought that just throwing it away would make it where it just never happened. And the only reason why they found her was because of that CCTV footage. They found her license plate. That's why they found her. She didn't come. She didn't own up to this. She didn't walk into the police station and say, "Hey, no, they found her." And said, "Is this your kid?" She's like, "Yeah." Why'd you throw it in the trash? There is no reason for her to have done this. None whatsoever. There's no
Yeah, that's
reason to
true.
put a baby in a trash can. What a joke. This is modern women, you guys.
Judge Shoebridge ended by mentioning the worst self-inflicted part of this case.
You've given yourself a life sentence. You've given yourself a life sentence of knowing what you did with your child. And you've also given your son that same life sentence.
You know, guys.
This is
There you go.
disgusting. Like your own flesh and blood. As soon as you're born, death row.
It's awful. And odds are she gonna get out and be like, I'm gonna take care of my child now, and I want to be involved in my child's life. Watch.
Yeah.
Involved in my. Hold on. Jessica put a story in the chat. Wait, where is it? I'm trying to click on the link, but it's not working. Hold on. Jessica, post it again, but without the "this reminds you of this story." Just post the link. Because I'll bring it up here if you want to see it. So post it again without the "this reminds you of this story," and then I'll be able to get it out of the chat because right now. Oh yeah, that one. Yes. Teen through. Yes. Yep. I remember this one. But even have like the body can't. I wonder. Yeah. 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 AJ's covered that one. But yeah. Yeah, man. Look at this. This is crazy.
A teen is under arrest for allegedly killing her baby just after giving birth in a hospital bathroom.
Oh, I've seen this
Police in
one.
Artesia, New Mexico released this body cam of the suspect,
This is way
19-year-old
worse.
Alexi Treviso, being
Huh?
This is 10 times worse than the one before. Ten
You
times
know what?
worse.
Well, first off, the baby didn't make it, and the one and the first one did. But second off, I don't know what's worse because, well, I mean, this one's worse because the child didn't make it. But if the child would have been alive, I would think that ah ah because here's the thing: the first one left her child for dead. This
Yeah.
one, ah. They're both awful. I don't know which one's worse. What do you guys think? Eh,
I
In the
mean,
chat, which one's
on a
worse
scale,
between
on
the two?
like to me, I yeah, I do things like by category, like how messed up she disposed of a kid, and how she did it. Like if she just had the kid and the kid didn't survive, and then she just bag up the kid in a plastic bag and just drop the kid in the trash. Yeah, I would say that that's way worse.
Oh, wait, so she wrapped up the kid in a plastic. Oh, I didn't know all that. I thought she just put like placed it in there, but she literally like intentionally cut off the baby's oxygen, and the parents influenced her to do it. What? That's what Whiteout said. Whiteout said that the parents influenced the child to do it. What is going on?
confronted about the child's body being found.
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. He came out at me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this. I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
It was not crying or nothing.
Authorities say Treviso denied being pregnant when she arrived at the emergency room with back pain, but medical staff determined she was pregnant. They say she went to the bathroom for 20 minutes and wouldn't open the door. When she
Yeah, so she like yeah, so she yeah, so she took out her own child and then put no.
finally emerged, staff claimed the bathroom was covered in blood. A custodian was called in to clean it up and discovered the body while taking out the trash.
So when I picked it up, I realized that it was like a little heavier than it would be with just toilet
Can
paper.
you
And
imagine being that janitor? Oh no.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
trauma right there. Trauma.
yep, it's disgusting.
trash bag.
Treviso's mother seemed to be shocked by the whole thing.
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What?
Look at that fake. What? Come on now.
9 months?
Nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
An autopsy performed on the baby boy determined he was breathing before he was put in a trash bag and deprived of oxygen, which
Oh yeah, this is considerably worse.
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh my
You see what I'm talking
god.
about?
Oh yeah, I take all that back, man. Yikes.
caused his death, according to the report. Alexi Treviso is charged with first-degree murder, intentional abuse of a child resulting in death, and tampering with evidence. Her attorney told a local news station that he has serious problems with the charge of first-degree murder, and he will tenaciously defend his client against it. For Inside Edition Digital.
Yikes, you guys. Yeah, yeah. You guys win. That one's infinitely worse. Disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's what I see this type of woman doing to her kids. She just can't take it anymore, so she's gonna take out the baby. Anytime someone gets on social media
Yeah.
like this and is
Since
crying,
Doug,
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, since us all of us had that ingrained into our mind, you might as well like make you and ages like suffer the same fate as us. So yeah, sorry about that.
What's that?
Yeah, I was saying since as we had to like like listen to all of that, like might as well just make you listen to it as well.
I know, right? Just tell you, man. Yikes! Oh my god, you guys, that's gonna like that's straight up nightmare fuel right there. You
Yeah.
know what? Whatever happened to that girl? Let me see. Teenager throws baby in hospital trash can. Uh, so that was June of 2023. So what happened to her? What happened to was she to call? Huh. Yeah, I'll have to do some research and see what happened to her because
Hmm.
yeah, okay. Wait, what happened? What happened to Alexi Treviso? So she went to court um January 27th of 2023. Uh Wait, what? Anger as judge okays college? So she was allowed to go to college? Oh my I have to do some research search on this case for a different day. Anyway, all right, let's finish with this girl right here.
Right? But we don't think about mothers who have mental health disabilities or mental health disorders undiagnosed. A lot of it is undiagnosed. And they're out here having children, and it is hard. It's hard, right?
That nose of hers is hard. That's a hard looking nose, isn't it? Jesus.
Hmm.
Jesus
Yeah.
H.
Look at
Christ.
that.
Another thing she said was
That's a cutting board you can cut vegetables on. Look at that.
Probably cut the board itself.
Exactly, right?
she didn't know she would be doing it alone without any supports. Nobody thinks about that, okay? Nobody thinks about the fact that a lot of women are talked into having kids, okay?
Whoa, hold up a second.
Jesus H. Christ.
Talked into having children? What? Come on, you guys. I'm gonna give that a big
Nope.
no way. Come on. You can't talk a woman into having a child. There's no way.
Yeah. Unless you're
Come
Tyrone
on.
or something.
Unless you're Chad Chaddington and Tyrone Thunderstroke. Ah.
And when shit hits the fan, no one's there to help. No one, she has no support. So it's like at the baby shower, she had all this support, everybody eating up the food, everybody buying stuff. But then once the baby's here, that's it. No one's thinking about those key things, right? Gray area. That's the gray area with what she's talking about. So I just send her a lot of love and energy because it is hard. And I applaud her for putting herself out there like that.
Women enable other women's foolishness, you guys.
Hmm.
That's what it comes down to. Yeah, Jessica said the best. Excuse finding 304s. 100% correct. Well, you're gonna see more videos about single mothers. I have one coming out. I just figured out a treasure trove of videos about. They have what are called pick me moms. These moms that have always picked the men in their lives over their children, and a lot of these women are sharing all sorts of crazy stuff. You guys about how their mom would pick men over their children, let men come into the house and all this stuff like that is crazy, guys. So look for a video on that one. A video on that coming soon. I have what do I have coming down the pipe on my channel here? Let me give you guys a little preview real quick. Uh, I have my latest. These women can't work a 9 to 5 job. Came out. So so look for that one. Oh yeah, I found another influencer who regrets all of her tattoos. That's coming out tonight. So make sure to watch that. I have a woman, a 66-year-old woman has no retirement and no savings, so she has to work 2 jobs. Yeah, man, I got some bangers coming out. So make sure to stay tuned. Final thoughts on the women that leave their careers to be stay-at-home moms, Pyro. What do you think?
I think they should stop complaining, especially if they have a husband. Just do what you're supposed to be doing, just like your husband is doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's not complaining because he's taking care of the household, like making sure everything, making sure they have everything to survive. Because if he complains, everybody would be on his behind, saying you're the man and you're supposed to be taking care of your family. Why can't she do the same thing? Why can't anybody be on her behind? Just fulfill what you're supposed to be doing, since as the dude is doing the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. My position is huh, you know, my position is leaning more towards if you can be a stay-at-home mom, do because there's so many distractions and so much anti-parenting going on, especially as teenagers. You need to be a hawk around your teenage boys and girls.
Hmm.
Please, if you're not careful, your daughter who's 14 could meet some guy online and go run off with him, or your or your or your teenage son's freaking 30-year-old teacher could be trying to get him.
Yeah.
So you got to be vigilant. The parents have to be involved now more than ever. So, two professionals is good, but if you're able to find a good job in a red state where it's cheap to live, and the husband makes a lot of money, and the woman can stay home, I say go for it. So Jessica, Whiteout, Razy Gamer, Carlos X, um, who else was in here? Bam from the Republic of Palau, Steve M, Lisa Smith. There was one new guy that was in. Conquering Wanderer was in here. Who else was in here? There was one new guy. I I saw him in here. Anyway, everyone, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Happy 4th of July. Try try to get through tomorrow with all your fingers and all your toes, please. Yeah, please do that. And if you have the day off, enjoy your day off. I'm gonna be live on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So look for that link on my community tab. And have a good night, everyone. Pyro, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, man. Take care. Take care.
All right. See ya. Bye.